So now that we spoke about assessments of a child, tell us more about the examination system, which board do Shishya children appear in at grade 10 level, and also how well do they cope with conventional higher education post that, because some parents might tend to perceive that this is too protected an environment or too slow. So, are the children resilient enough to take on with the normal examination systems as they grow up and with conventional education, and also explicitly which board, etc., do we then prepare our children for?
Yes. So our children are writing, or rather, we prepare our children to take the exams from Cambridge, which is the IGCSE examination, which is the 10th standard examination. And the preparation is absolutely to the mark for them, because even Cambridge examinations gives room for creative expression. It is not about confining your answers in a certain way only. And the way Waldorf education encourages children to be independent thinkers, I think that examination method rewards the children for this craft that they have developed over time. As teachers and as an institution, we find it very rewarding when our children participate in that exam. Going forward, how do they perform in the outside world when they go into higher education? I think it just blends in seamlessly, because the further you go from a school, the less are you going to be supported by teachers over time. In time, you will begin to realize that it's all about self education. And this kind of learning method actually empowers children to decode the learning that is coming from the outside world, make it their own, and convert it into a transferable way of expression. So they are not only able to self teach, but also write exams very efficiently.
Fair enough. So, when you say writing exams efficiently, the most common stress in the society, in familial relationships around, is around stress and anxiety in writing the exam, the marks that come thereafter, the social standing around it. How are Shishya children placed in that regard? Do they not feel this pressure at all, or are they built in a way that they can see this differently?
The answer is right there in your question, because yes, they are built in a certain way that they do the performance, but they don't get anxious about it. And I think it comes from the love that is present in every single individual that is a part of the school, in the environment which becomes the school, and the fact that they are not assessed before they are able to show their performance in the way that we are desiring. The outcomes of the assessments are not thrown at a child as a certain star or a mark or a rank. The child just understands, I was able to do it, I wasn't able to do it, and if it wasn't, then what part was it that I was not able to do it? I think this process begins from the preschool, where the child is given free play, which means that the child is free to play the way it wants to. There's no structure provided there. Over time, when we bring in structure, it is about how we bring structure to the day and to expressions, but we are not binding it in any form. And this allows the child to develop immense trust in the world. And if you actually think of the future and the question which you said, how will they perform in the future? They can only perform well in the future when they think and they trust themselves enough to be able to express without being contained. This is fundamentally I think, an evolutionary process. It doesn't happen one fine day. It has to happen since childhood. But if it is sufficiently fed into in the childhood, this is an attribute they carry for life. No matter what the world throws at them, they know how to kind of alkalize it and not become, worried with it.
I think this is something every parent would want to hear. But that also makes me think that given that Shishya teachers are different, Shishya students are different, it takes a certain quality to be a parent fostering and facilitating an environment like that for a child. So, Reena ma'am, you are the first parent of Shishya Waldorf School, and I know that you brought your child here as the first student, and that seems like a massive experiment to me as a parent more than a teacher. Tell us three things about Shishya that you would like every parent who wants to join this community want to know.
Uh, yeah. So I asked this question to my daughter, like, can you tell me the best three things about Shishya? I think if it is coming from child, is it's much valuable than coming from me. And what she answered was wonderful. First thing she said, my I love my teachers. You know that as we shared that there are no textbooks, then teacher is the textbook, and so children are in love with the teacher because the way she creatively she is bringing out content. Second thing she said, I love the process of breaking down. So when we introduce concept, we introduce the concept as a whole, not into breaks, not into fragments. For example, like 20 is a whole number. How you can reach number 20? So 10 plus 10 could be 20. 4 multiplied 5 is also 20. So there are multiple ways, and children really undergo this process of breaking down, and she feels that I feel very blessed that I am into the system that where I have learned how to break down concept for their understanding. Third thing she mentioned, that world of education gives room to my creativity, and also I can learn with my pace rather than somebody is just dragging her that you have to learn. I know that I understand my pace, and how beautifully with that pace I can reach to the goal which teachers has decided for me. And I think this was very powerful answer from her, and so I'm really proud that that opportunity came in my life where we met or we encountered world of education and trusted, and so the benefit we can see are in our children.
Thank you for sharing that. So, in your experience of the decade-long work in building Shishya, what kind of parents tend to appreciate and gravitate to an environment like this?
I think the parents who have realized that good health is something which is very precious, cannot be purchased with money, cannot be assured by a certain certificate. They have overcome their fears of, what if they don't get this? What if they are not able to do this? What if they cannot cope with the outside world? They have crossed these boundaries and barriers of thoughts, and they are the ones who are now coming forward. They are the ones who are looking at this education process as a gift of life and not just a qualification or a job. They have grown out of that insecurity. And I feel that they are paving the way for many more parents to come in, because this, what they were looking for, is actually now being experienced. As Reena is seeing her child, she sees this. Many parents are seeing this, and they begin to intrigue and get inquired, begin inquiry about which school is this child coming from? What kind of education is this? And I think that is the biggest attribute of world of education, that it is not about what we say, but actually what the child reflects.
I'll just add here, one she has already mentioned parents, those who are conscious parent. Other thing which I feel, the parents, those who are more artistic, they have this artistic bent. So and they want that their children should be balanced, like with so balanced of willing, feeling, and thinking, like balance of intellectual and also doing things. And also parents, those who have open thinking and open minded, where they want to explore the another systems, kind of system, education system which are available. And also those who are seekers, what I mean, there's a quote, what you seek you find. So people, those who are, they have questions about education system, they're questioning whether this education system will work or not work. And when they start questioning and they reach to those answers, and these kind of parents who step into a Shishya campus.
Sounds good. So a parent, probably one who's willing to reflect what environment would they like their child to grow up in. Coming to the final question for this morning, how has your vision as co-founders really translated in the children you've seen growing up at Shishya in the last decade?
What we see is very confident children. They have a soul freedom which is unmatched from the outside world if you can compare it. And I'm not talking about the body freedom. Body freedom might sometimes mean like I can just go into any antics at any place. But that's not what it is. Freedom of the soul is what Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi have expressed. Even while they were behind bars, they said, I was never contained by those bars. I was free. Our children feel that the world is a platform for expression. When they take to the mic, they take to discussing with grown-ups around them. The grown-ups are in awe of what they are showing. The way they exercise their speech, their thoughts, how they transfer what they want or what they are thinking to someone else. I think that attribute is the biggest satisfaction we see, we feel, we experience, because what else was it that we were trying to achieve? Just this, free human beings living happily on this earth.
Beautiful and powerful work. About you?
So I will share three words, and these three words actually beautifully encapsulate the entire world of education. First is our children. Our children are very creative. They know how to collaborate with each other, and also they are very good in communicating their thoughts. So I would say communication, collaboration, and creativity. These are the three powerful tools which we are giving our children. And if children are able to really work on these three tools, whether it's world with full of AI, I think our children will be able to survive. This whole education starts with self, then how I can, work with my colleagues or with my co-friends, and then how I can work in the social environment. So every time this I partner and also in the social setup, the entire education goes that way. Also, there's a one Steiner quote which mentioned that with knowledge you can reach somewhere, but with imagination you can reach anywhere. And I think this is something which we are giving to, this is a gift which we are giving to our children, is imagination.